What a grim moment this is. I had hoped that poor wretch, Mallory, would be the last unfortunate trapped by the farce we created. Of course, I should feel obliged to greet you at the very beginning. My name is Pridwin, and I am the last druid in this garden, and its last living creator. I know what this place used to be, but now the garden is tainted, like all of us. I assume this is the answer to the meaning we've been searching for. The first resurrection of Arthur shattered our understanding of the eternal cycle. It was beyond our comprehension. We needed to take a step back, and for that we needed a place of peace. The idea of a garden reminded us of the quiet murmur, and so we created the garden. We really believed that we could reinvent humanity in a world like that. Unthinkable. Even now, after so many years, the king was dragged back to the land of the living whenever humanity sought its legendary protector. It turned out to be abuse. To take the memory of a life so precious and full of potential and turn it into a cruel mockery, step by step, over and over, leading it to its inevitable degradation. Not in the way I expected, but yes, I have found the art. It's an infinite jest and the perfect tragedy of our lives. That which makes us human, we never truly know what we are or the nature of our lives until we succumb to corruption, whether it is born of madness or the weirdness. The result remains the same. Only then does everything begin to appear as it truly is. This place is like a terrifying mirror, and so it will remain, unless something is done to change it. What has already happened? There is only one. There is a sealed gate. Beyond it lies some whether to face this terror, if you consider that.
damn it, like, holy. I guess I need to get me an actual health potion. That's fucking crazy, man. I'm so close. Holy shit, man. Damn it. Ah. Only my wolves are nowhere to be found, bro. I ain't gonna. If they don't help me this time, I'm about to get rid of them motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, holy shit, bro. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I gotta dodge right away. This is getting insane, honestly. Oh, really, bro? Oh, man. This is insane. Am I missing? Like, what am I missing? I don't see him. Like, what the hell? Oh, fuck, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna run this whole fucking circle. Like, what the fuck? Maybe I missed something over here. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. I don't know how to say.
You have returned. You reek of purification. You've killed our child and set the fate of the garden on a new. So, now at last, I shall have quiet and let the flower bloom in all its beauty and die as it was always meant. Thank you.
The seal. The seal.
What's happening? In the name of the All-Mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before. All right, true. Why didn't you, eh? You could have killed me. So you're not one of them bandits, then? Who are you, huh? This pin, I can't say I see it very clearly, but I remember Fergus said something about all this, these... Oh, yes, I remember now. I welcome thee, ye, royal person. Please, speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things around here in the captain's absence. He'll greet... have a pleasure... Open!
This feeling, it was so strong, so real. I remember now, the weight of it, the power. This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me. Yes, the sensation is unmistakable, but it carries more than my soul. It carries a part of my legacy. A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it will choose you.
If you're here to see the healer, don't... And I mean it! He's a know-it-all from Camelot, but the truth is, he doesn't know All of those academic types think they're better than us villagers. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he said my tooth is rotten, and then said... Sounds like horse crap.
She knew how to make a proper potion for toothache.
I even gave him my... No, Heber took it, the plonker. Said if I don't know how to make... He says it's no good. Says that if I don't get... I told him that's why I need the remedy, to make... You will? Don't worry, I'll give...
Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests. You don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. Most unfortunate. But that explains...
The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here?
No, and please, try to be convincing. Or the walls... Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. They mean that, in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horn.
And that makes me wonder... If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain.
However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murderer. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pin only means that I'm to make sure you're safe.
Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. If you need rest, you can sleep in the barracks.
That's one of our tags. Every soldier gets one when they pledge their loyalty. I just hope the body you took it from was already cold.
You know, here's what I'm thinking. If you stumble over any of our fallen... Sure, they all swore to stay here until the bitter end.
It's part of my duty. But since I can't...
Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. He was one of the good ones. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But now that I think of it... Tortured? In the asylum? You can't expect me to take that at face value. Brother Riagan said Ninian was too weak to survive that they came for him. And what were you doing? You look fine, but if you... I honestly think your sense of humor is the worst. Still, you have to understand, no risks can be taken. We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north. But somehow I doubt it. Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on there. Good. Try not to get yourself killed, and get rid of whatever's been causing the problem. Excalibur. You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest, if you think you can. But unless you're King Arthur... I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life. Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking you're allowed to walk around the keep and the village. But if anyone catches you stealing... He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job. And no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose. I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates. Yes? Why not? Don't... Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there? And have you helped any of my people? First, show me you care. And then I'll take you to the captain. I can't have every... I trust... Good.
Let me guess. Camelot. You must be from Connacht. I should have guessed. Nowhere? Never heard about it. Must be a shithole like no other. And I think I won't learn much about politics from you.
You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup at the highest levels of power. And that whole plague thing is just a tool to reach their final goal. The Red Priests are also trying to get something out of it.
And to be honest, it's not gone too bad for them. The Druids are out of the picture already.
Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess.
Maybe. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course.
That's the case. Those sons of bitches are good at hiding. They kinda blend in and live among us. It's hard to tell if it's hideous magic or some other tricks. You see? It takes one to know one. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud. It suits them when everyone keeps their mouth shut.
Wait a minute. I'm not suggesting anything here. I'm just thinking out loud.
It doesn't make sense that the plague appeared just like that. Out of bloody nowhere? Hell no. It's a high-stakes game.
Power over us, of course. Over our bodies and souls. Over Avalon. Over the whole damn course of history. You know, I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale? What if the nobles and others involved in the whole conspiracy just made him up? And us peasants eventually just started to believe in it.
You know, one story for everyone. They drilled it into our heads, and drilled until it finally stuck. And then they built statues, wrote books, and everything else.
Yeah? Don't tell me you're one of those fools that think that the All-Mother exists. Have you ever seen her? How do you know that we're not being lied to?
Exactly. But maybe one day you'll see the truth.
It's more than a sword. It's a promise. A blade that stands for unity, for strength, and for hope. It wasn't just mine. It belonged to Avalon. Every swing, every battle was fought for the land and its people. But Excalibur is also a burden. It demands more than just skill. It demands purpose. Without that, then it is just steel. Oh, Lancelot. It was painful to watch what became of him. Confident, steadfast, eloquent. Nothing like the tormented soul you've seen. He was admired by the people and by his fellow knights. He had quite the following, though he never seemed to care for it. Only later did I realize how wrong I had been. He was also much sought after. Left a trail of broken hearts wherever he went. But there was only one he ever held in his heart, and that was Avalon. I always believed Lancelot to be honest to a fault. He never hesitated to speak his mind, and I valued that in him as much as his loyalty. I trusted him completely, and I thought his faith in me, in my vision for Avalon, was just as strong. But it wasn't. I don't know when or how that trust was lost, and to this day, it still pains me. But know this, even in betrayal, Lancelot never sought to serve himself. He was a good man. Yet even the best of men can falter and lose their way. I forgave him long ago. What saddens me is that he still cannot forgive himself. But I understand why. The rebellion he led hurt not only me, it wounded all of Avalon. And Lancelot always hated senseless bloodshed. To be the cause of so much suffering, perhaps fighting by our side will finally bring him peace. Ah, the Horns of the South, the crown jewel of these lands. We had barely laid the foundations of Tainted Grail when Seawall and his men had already built a lighthouse, eager to guide our ships to them. He always had a competitive spirit. Of course, it helped that he took every sailor from the homelands with him, along with a handful of knights, so they could learn from one another. And thus, the Keepers of the South were formed. I decreed that every sworn keeper would stand as an equal to a Knight of the Round Table. I doubt they still honor that law, but I am glad to see the keepers grown. In my time, there was only a lighthouse and barracks. I suppose it has. A pity it has become a hunting ground for bandits, but do not worry, my friend. Let us walk this path and make me whole again. I will restore this island to the glory it deserves, the King's Road included.
Welcome! In the name of our eternal... I am obliged to inform you. As, Camelot's representative, I will be paying a... I also recommend checking the bounty board, please. Really? You fought bandits and killed them? Oh, I want to hear all the details. Here's the reward, but promise you'll tell me everything. Again? You really like killing, don't you? Do you shoot the... Incredible! You're a born killer, aren't you? There's an ogre, a really nasty son of a bitch, holed up in a nearby brook. I've heard that one swing of his hammer can turn a bear into a... As you can imagine, the keepers aren't too keen on dealing with him, even though if by some bring me the ogre's shiny eye as proof of the kill. Oh, someone finally checked out the... Go, the... Do you keep bandits? That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces. There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages. But who knows how it'll end. Well, you've probably heard about the druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up, and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see. Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're worm food now. Most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the... His name was Slaudyard. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarlet since that day. Some say that Slaudyard came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart. Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
All mother's tits. I've just about had it with this bunch of repressed virgins. And who might you be? You don't look like one of them. Oh, do I now? You would be too if you had to deal with those sniveling morons when they're up to something. Don't look at me like that. You don't get as far in life as I have if you can't smell bullshit from a mile away. There's something fishy going on here. But I'll get to the bottom of it. And here's a brilliant idea. You're going to help me. Straight to the point, huh? Don't worry, I'll pay you. And who knows, you might even get a discount on my wares. I just need you to go to Brandon and find out why that slimeball is pretending not to know I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting with his delivery. Although I'm pretty sure he knows this already. Right. What was I thinking? There's something going on, you know? They don't want anybody to know, but I can feel it. I've been doing business with the captain for... Then suddenly I found myself stuck here. They won't let me further in, not even to set up camp in the village. But they won't let me out. Anyway, good luck to you. You do realize you won't score any points with the Keepers by helping me, right? Those holier-than-thou soldier boys have no idea what it takes to be a merchant in this sorry world. The things we have to do sometimes aren't exactly done according to the rule book. There's a woman from the tribes called Nest. She's my supplier. At least, I think she's still working for me. You still up for an adventure? My guess, and it's only a guess, is that at some point she must have been somewhere around the bay. That beach near the Whale's Tooth. Rumor has it that Bromar No-Face and his thugs are fond of that place, which wouldn't be good news for Nest. You'll get paid, of course. Just let me know what happened. And bring back the cargo. Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or I try to be, when my business isn't being held hostage by a bunch of idiots who seem to be terrified of women. What was I thinking when I decided to leave Timberwall? Should have stayed there. You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yes, it's rich and extravagant, but only if you're rich and extravagant, too. Other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded walls. It's not as exciting as people think. Or, well, maybe it is, if you like living with a bunch of backstabbing crooks. I have no home in Timberwall. Well, we have an estate, but it hasn't felt like home for a long time. I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people are getting greedier and more desperate. Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits everywhere, trade's just not as profitable. But, I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for opportunities. Now, they only care about keeping their heads down and preserving their fortunes. Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in Timberwall. My family is full of them. Oh, love, plenty. And almost none of them happy. I'll never forget the first time we stumbled upon a place after a cloud of the weirdness oozed through. It was a small settlement, just a few houses. There was this odd, bitter taste in the air. The place was completely abandoned, or so we thought. A man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting ant. Another one who gouged his eyes out, so he wouldn't have to look at his child melting into the floor. A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got to her. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. I guess giving up just...
question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole. Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and... Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I... Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to... There's just not enough of them to go around. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. If you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for... Yeah, after we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dalrita, our captain decided that nobody leaves the Horns. Then, he shut himself in his office, without leaving us any orders. Virgus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but... just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds, and the rest are losing their wages on drink. Sometimes I wonder, you know, how many things can go wrong at the same time. They say that misery loves company, but here, it's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of bandits approaching from there. Desperate people. They took a lot of our territory. Then, the Dalrita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed for some reason. And so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen next. Sea monsters? Who knows? Yes, that damn forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different level of crazy. They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started moving. And when the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. But you know that. Every child has heard the stories. Truth be told, most of them are just people desperate to survive. When the villagers started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their livelihoods, ended up with nothing to their names, and nowhere to go. so they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. That's... I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the mountains near the Forlorn Swords. Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. A couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing, we aren't either. I heard that dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone.
Expect to see you. Good to see you again. The pledge today was very interesting, wasn't it? The certainty in Quartermaster Aymer's voice. Beautiful. Makes one eager to start work. Huh? Ah, yes, of course. So, what do you need this time? The pub. Hey, not this time, my friend. I've run out of ink. In the meantime, I need to ask you for a favor. You do know it needs to stay between us. Do you understand? Fantastic. So, here's the thing. On a recent night out of wrongs, it seems I may have left some sensitive documents at the bar. Documents, with Captain Fergus' seal. But not necessarily sealed by him. You know what I mean. I can't really go there right now. Could you get them back for me? I'm sure it won't be too much of a problem. Splendid! When you have the documents, meet me at the third crowing of the rooster. Or just find me. I'll be around. What do you want? You all right, newbie? Hey, Cole Bandit. You'll meet not long ago, though. Cole started acting very strange. Erratic. Sometimes even aggressive. One of our keepers, old Mahon, tried to calm him down. He might have used too much force. And Cole felt compelled to defend himself. He bit old Mahon. And since then, the old fool has been lying in the infirmary. Frankly, I think Mahon brought it on himself. They shouldn't have put that poor man in a cage. Wait. I know it's not much, but I'd like her to know she's not alone. I support her and the other refugees. And I'm sure there are more of us who do. Oh, these poor... Stay safe.
Ah, you're back! How's the remedy?
That's between her and the captain. Were it up to me, she'd be long gone. Her presence here distracts my men.
trouble. Bloody seagulls! Can you hear me? You flying vermin! Just try landing here and I'll pluck your asses clean. A keep by the sea. I'm fixated. Me! Oh, you didn't see what they did to me a week ago. I was just standing watch as usual, and then, suddenly, splat. A dozen of them flying overhead, screeching, shitting and whatnot. So, I yelled what I think about them, shaking my fist. And then another 4, splat! And they kept screeching. I tell you, they're laughing at me. I spent all night cleaning my armor. Sewell didn't think it through when he decided where to put the keep, mark my words. And I don't like how you seem to think I'm a fool. I once managed to shoot a few. I thought they'd and guess what they did? I need to try a different, like the way crows are afraid of scarecrow. A fee? I'm not. Whatever. I just need you to bring me some kind of a bird. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anyone crazy. There is one guy in the museum.
We... Yeah. Sleep, damn it, is a worse... No sleeping, no. The service is eternal. Where would we be if Seawall took naps all the time? You need to serve. Not... I shut my eyes for about 15 minutes every day. Sometimes 20. Besides, a true keeper doesn't sleep. He keeps watch. The Old Mother will reward me after I'm dead. But I'm not gonna lie. That potion from Eber, our physician, works miracles. You could stand on the walls all day and night and not even think about closing your eyes. What? Listen, pal, I never asked. I just came in the evenings when I was getting sleepy and took it. And then Yan put it somewhere else. Keeper's Vigor. Good stuff. Shows what you know. Once more, call to this glorious service by the grace of the sea.
Listen, I'm no good with words. Could you read me a letter from my sister? She's learning how to read and write. Can you believe it? She writes letters. To me. I'm so proud of her. Oh, thanks. Here's the letter. No, what do I do? I should go... I guess, yes.
Are you here to keep me Just kidding. Love the view, but this weather is killing me. Always windy. Always moist. You don't say. I didn't choose to be here. Our beloved quartermaster sent me to freeze my arse off. He said as punishment for spitting on the good name of the keepers. Whatever the hell that means. I just got drunk in the tavern and lost half my pay. And maybe some of my clothes. But I mean, why would he even care? It was my gold. I can spend it how I please. Oh, I need a warm coat. And I mean the absolute warmest coat you can get, huh? Osprey might have something in stock or know how to make one. I'd ask myself, but he's not exactly speaking with me these days. Thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you.
You just wait until they let Kumuleo. Nobody asked your opinion. I drink because maybe I was drunk. But all is not lost. I'm not gonna... Come on. Oh.
Please. Go chop off some. Go.
Oh, a new face. It's always nice to see someone new here. Welcome, welcome. Why didn't I notice you earlier? Yes, my apologies. Ever since breakfast. You see, all we got here is Venice. I could live with all the bullshit that's thrown at us soldiers. But the longer I live, the more I realize there's not much to live for, except food. And I'd kill for a slice of that pie. As if it were that easy. I ain't much of a cook. And Rorik, the one we have here, well, he says we're soldiers, so we can stick our complaints up our asses. Really?
Welcome to the Museum of... My name is Ridderick. I'd also like to bring... I have to admit that local fauna is... It used to be the case that a significant part of the daily catch was gobbled up by our troublesome coastal neighbors. So the keepers of that time found a very peculiar way to deal with the problem. Some of them, called the seagullers, scared off the coastal birds using specially constructed masks. They made them from feathers and pieces of tanned pigskin sewn together. The reason the gulls avoided these masks is unclear, but perhaps their peculiar shape reminded them of a natural predator? It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a group of keepers who were fascinated with Sewell Firstfoot. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sewell's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum was Gladwin Flanagan, who was personally appointed by Captain Berach the Black. I don't doubt it. Since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, well known to every keeper, drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sewell Firstfoot was the first man who ever set foot on the island of Avalon. As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker, Firstfoot, comes from. Oh, of course. Sewell was an outstanding commander whose strategic mind, bravery, and charisma contributed to our capture of the South from the Four Dwellers. He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can say with absolute conviction that if it were not for Sewell Firstfoot, we wouldn't even be standing here having this conversation. The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible heritage. The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the Horns of the South from the 1st to the 6th century of the Avalonian era. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, everyday objects, furniture, textiles, coins, religious artifacts. I'd say all exhibits are worthy of your attention, but I could point you to the ones I personally think to be the most notable, or subjectively, of course, the most interesting. Those would be the items that used to belong to Sewell Firstfoot. We have his signal horn, and also his boots. Those boots were the first to touch Avalonian soil. What is also worth mentioning is the tableware used by King Arthur himself during his visit to the Horns of the South in the 15th year of the Avalonian era. Yes, remarkable, isn't it? You can find them in the central display. Sewell's boots were sewn from 3 pieces of tanned calfskin, tied at the top with a leather strap. The seam goes through the middle of the instep, which is decorated with ornamental embroidery. On the outer side of each shoe, you can find a decorative brass buckle with the motif of the Camelotian bear. It is notable that even after 600 years, they are still excellently preserved, which is unusual considering the high humidity in this area. It means that even the keepers of that time must have realized the historical value of Sewell's boots, and therefore made sure to adequately preserve them. It is indeed an interesting exhibit. The horn was used by Sewell during wartime, not only for signaling, but also for intimidation. It is 50 centimeters long and made of the horn of an ox. It is the color of yellowed bone, with some ash-gray discoloration on the narrow end. It has a brass mouthpiece and silver fittings on its wider side and at the middle. The shape of the fittings suggests that the horn was hanging on a leather strap, which unfortunately has not survived to this day. It's a memento of the visit of the legendary ruler of Avalon. Impressive, isn't it? The tableware is made of tin coated with silver. It consists of a plate, a bowl, and a chalice. The edges are decorated with the motifs of Camelot, a crown and a bear. However, those ornaments are of visibly low quality. That detail, and the fact that those are the only wares from that time that have survived to this day, leads us to conclude that this set was cast specifically for that occasion, and that it was finished by a person unfamiliar with this kind of craft, perhaps a blacksmith or an armorer. Really? Do you mean it? Thank you. That's really nice to hear. I'm not used to positive feedback. Usually people only come here when they've had too much to drink and decided that it'd be fun to come over and start mocking me, or touching the exhibits with their greasy fingers. The last person who seemed to actually be interested in the museum was Lady Elaine. We talked a bit about Captain Lex and the trip that ended tragically in the year 513. It was described in The Last Voyage of the Andraste. An interesting read, although I'd say it should be classified as fiction. Lady Elaine thought differently. Apparently she's looking for the wreck of the Andraste. Can you believe that? Definitely. Personally, I believe that people gifted with curious minds should share their observations, for there's always a chance it will result in new developments. You should find Lady Elaine in the tavern, or somewhere close to it. Good luck!
Hope nothing bad happens today. Hey. Lighthouses. Why the hell are Dara and his workers pushing so hard to build the second one? I mean, 2 lighthouses next to each. Whatever. Well, one was even hanged for theft. If you're interested in the horns, you should visit. You can stay here and serve. Sit in the tavern, drink and eat. There's always... Aye, why would they? Besides, who'd have the time from a finance?
Hey, you're heading to the village, right? Tiernan should let you in. Take this medicine to my father, will you? I can't promise that talking to him will be... Not all keepers have been here their entire life, you know? He got me before he joined the Horns. Serves me right for wanting to find him, stupid son of a bitch. I don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Never saw myself as anything else. Tried picturing myself as a husband, a father once. But... nah. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Like father, like son, I guess. Stay out of...
Oh, mother have mercy. Not another one. If I let you pass, will you promise not to make any trouble? That's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan, they told me. You'll be looking after a village full of old farts. That's practically early retirement, they said. What a load of crap. There's always something. If it's not the deck falling apart, it's a refugee running around biting people. The deck? Nah, just old wood. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. But I've got no way to fix it. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and every time I try to do it myself, someone else needs me for something. I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bint started complaining that everything here smells of fish. That's a seaside village. What else would it smell of? You do that? Truth be told, I I don't know why they want it so badly. It's for boats. No one here even uses boats. But, well, you know how it is with old folks. Once they get fixated on something, there's no point in arguing. I'd pay if I could, but this was supposed to be my job. Not exact. Surprised? Can't blame you. This might sound odd coming from someone stationed at a glorified fish bucket, but I've got a thing for furniture. The only thing more mismatched than the barracks around here is my career choice. But, yeah, I like where chairs don't wobble, tables don't look like someone hacked them together with a dull axe, and beds, well, beds don't feel like they're plotting your murder while you sleep. Not exactly a secret I broadcast. Most folks see me as Tiernan the Grumbler. But, hey, we've all got something that keeps us sane, right? Well, to be fair, he only bit one person. But it was a keeper. I know Mahone can be a piece of shit sometimes, but gods. Now both of them are sick. And Heber's got no clue what's wrong. Which is the only reason that refugee isn't dead. Yet. So, he's sitting in a cage. His wife's crying all day, and everyone's pissed. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in the middle of it. Oh, she's a real piece of work, that one. Her name's Lady Elisa. Something. I don't remember. She came here with her husband. Poor man. I never heard him get a word in. You know, sometimes I regret not getting married. But if I had a wife like her, I'd just end up being a keeper all over again. Ah, that's... See you around.
Morris were here with me, or do you need help settling in, dear? What a nasty business with that boy. Oh, I'm not sure, love. I don't move around too much. I just heard about that fight with the road keeper, and now poor him and Patrice make such a lovely young couple. I'm sorry, dear. I hope I didn't offend you. I'm still not... You see, I was born in Little Grove and thought I would live out the rest of my life there, working in the orchards in the mornings and drinking warm cider with my beloved in the evenings. We never wanted to see the world. I guess sometimes the world doesn't give us a choice, does it? That's what people say, but I never agreed. I weathered many storms with my Morris, coming out stronger each time. Avalon taught us to cherish the little joys of our everyday life. Without those lessons, we wouldn't have survived what happened to our village. Little Grove was raided by bandits, a local gang that had been terrorizing the area for months, growing in numbers with each raid. Their leader, Bald Kate they called her, somehow got hold of a branding iron used to mark outlaws. After pillaging a village, she'd brand some men and women of her choosing. That way, Kate made sure nobody would ever help them, and that they'd have no choice but to turn to her if they wanted to survive. My Morris used to be a skilled tanner. I guess... It is, isn't it? Kate is nothing of... I don't know. The keeper at the gate, I would have left with him, but I was sick and exhausted from... No. He only promised that he'd find somewhere safe, but I'm not sure if there is any such place left in the south. Oh, Mother bless you, my dear. At first, it wasn't so bad. Don't get me wrong, we have food, we have a roof over our heads, and none of us wants to be a freeloader, as they call us. I might not be all hale and hearty, but stay safe, dear.
They said it would get easy. I've already told you I'm not going anywhere. If you want something from me, then... Oh. I don't know you. I'm Dugald. You're not one of us. And you're not a local either.
You could have chosen a better time to come here. Kind of poor ambience, if you know what I mean.
Well, at least... My boy Frank and I came here with the others. We left our village because... we had to. Well, I had to. But Frank is a good lad, so he came with me. I took him in, you know?
Found the poor sod at the mill, sleeping in the hay. He was chilled to the bone back then. But I could tell he'd be a strong lad once he thawed out. He used to help out on the farm.
He's young, but he already has a couple of tattoos. Tribal ones. Means he must have been cast out of the Del Rita.
At first, people in our village gave him dirty looks. But then they realized he wasn't a bandit.
He was a good, hard-working kid. Then they started to treat him as one of their own. Frank is a quiet boy, and he doesn't talk much about himself. I feel like those days with the reader are long buried for him. Almost like he never lived them. Yeah. Roscree. Few shacks and a small field of grain. I was a miller back there. My daughter married a good, hard-working man. Eventually, I gave them the mill.
Still helped around, but wanted to let the young folks learn how to work there. Then this kid, Frank, came along. Everything seemed to be going pretty well.
Of course, something happened. Life here can't just be bearable. Oh no. Everything has to get screwed up somehow. That's the way it goes in this cursed land. My dear Trina and her bairn. Hey. They got caught by a weird beast. I started to hit the bottle and finally, my son-in-law kicked me out. I left Roscree. And so did Frank. He says he has some kind of life debt. And he won't leave me alone until one of us drops dead. I'm sorry too. To be honest, I'm a bit confused about what's going on. Usually it was me who yelled at everyone, and now I feel like a drudge. And this nasty thing with Cole. Poor lad. Shouldn't have ended like that. He and Beatrice got along very well. Let me tell you something. When I saw all these wrinklies around here, I thought this place would suit me. But then all this shit happened. I suspect we won't stay here long.
Sorry. Just a bit of grim humor. You know, about what's been happening here. Such a mess, isn't it? Cola's all right, and Beatrice, what a shame. Such a fine girl. Anyway, I'm well, I'm Ellis. Goldsmithing is my life and passion. And between you and me, I feel like I'm losing my mind without it. When I hold tools and make beautiful things, it feels like I can bring some light into this wretched world. I wish I was somewhere where I could just do some goldsmithing, but I'm a bit scared. So, here I am, sitting on my ass in some village listening to waves and the screams of seagulls and old men. Nothing to write home about, even if I still had one. I was working as a goldsmith in a group of, let's call them, business people. I was once traveling with a caravan that got attacked by him. Their chief was a smart guy. The moment he heard I was a goldsmith, he knew what to do with me. He got me converting all the jewelry they stole into new pieces. Do you want to hear what I did once? We went to Timberwall. The gang wanted to rob some merchant's house. We holed up in a seedy tavern and waited for the right moment. Then, one night they broke in, came back with a whole load of trinkets. Beautiful stuff. The moment I saw it all, I instantly knew what I wanted to craft. They gave me a couple of days, tinkered for a bit, and then, ta-da! Brand new merchandise. After I was finished, I dressed myself all nice, went to that merchant's house and went, "Good morning, kind sir. I'm a goldsmith. My work is renowned in all of Camelot. Would you be interested in what I have to offer?" You know what he said? "Of course I would." That nonce bought the entire lot, even though I inflated the prices like a street peddler. And when I came back, the others couldn't believe their eyes. I thought I was gonna keel over. I miss that.
The sun doesn't rise the same anymore.
Something happened. I'm not from anywhere. Frang is attached to nowhere. I found a home with Dugald. I owe him a life debt. Frang was never a dull leader. Not without a name. Without a name, you are nobody in the tribe. Like me. And if that lasts too long, you must leave. I left and became Frang. Frang. A name, and not a name. Nothing happened to Frang. A stray, taken in by a miller. That's all. Frang cannot be a Dalriada. His mother was. But the tribe decided that he was not worthy of a name. That is why he is not of the tribes. Conquer. Wolf. Strong. Important name. Not seen in the south for a long time. Must be dead. A place without a leader. As I see it, it will finally fall apart. One way or another. There are no tales about a place that survived without a strong leadership. And it's not about kings, nobleshites, or chieftains. Titles are just words that pull the wool over a man's eyes. What's needed is a strong soul with a strong name. And their names mean as much as Frang's, which is to say, nothing. Now they're a bit like Frang. Strays with no home. But Reese is strong, despite what happened with Cole. Ellis. He's funny. I like him. Rawson. I know nothing about her. And Dugald. A man who became Frank's father. He has my gratitude. Don't bother. Frank never met the Keepers, but the unnamed boy did. Once, a few of them, many years ago, we thought. The unnamed boy survived even though he showed fear. Should it do that? The Keepers approached the camp of the boy's people, but that past does not belong to Frank. I'm Frank.
They said it would get easier. The sun doesn't rise the same.
Stay safe, dear.
And what?
Something no. There are no, and it will. I'm from.
Be careful.
What do you want? Well, I'll have to disappoint you. So you really don't know? If you're not from here, I'm not sure what could have brought you to this hellhole. But you have my sympathies. Just know that Cole isn't like that. Something is poisoning his mind and soul. I don't know what it is, or why it happened to Cole. But now we're all at the mercy of those damned Keepers. One evening there was a quarrel between our group, the villagers, and one of the Keepers. They'd had a bit too much to drink and let some comments slip. They hurled insults at us, saying there's no place for us here, that we should just get the hell out of here because things are hard for everyone. Hard? Sure. I bet that bunch of wimps wouldn't last a week outside. All they do is sit in that keep of theirs, thinking they're the defenders of justice. Well, Cole went mad. I've never seen him like that before. He attacked that keeper and bit him. It was serious, but the keeper survived. If it weren't for the other men from the village, things could have ended very differently. Afterwards, they chained Cole up and locked him in a cage. His condition started to worsen. They said a monster like him doesn't deserve a jail cell. Jail cells are for humans. Bastards. Surprising, isn't it? It seems that Quartermaster Fergus banned any kind of vigilante, and the local healer said he wants to, so as long as that question remains. But honestly, if anything happens to that... This might sound silly, but before, in the morning, we realised everyone... Cole started... Well, it was pretty typical. We started a fire and threw some cobwebs into it. That boy could always find them somehow. Ellis was on watch that day. But from what he told us, he eventually fell. We set up camp near the arch spire. We hoped that bandits wouldn't dare to venture into a place like that. Well, now I know why we could have been right. With everything that's been happening lately, I'm ready to believe in every strange thing in this world.
Bloody hell, look at this! The old places, they do nothing but shuffle around, stare at walls, and sleep under leaking roofs. Can't even hammer a nail properly. I'm telling you, if I was still working here, this place wouldn't be falling apart. And who are you? I bloody knew it. Retirement my arse. It's shit. Never a moment of peace. At least when I was still working, there was always something to... So, one day my boy got it into his stupid head that they're all telling me I should do something about it. Ha! Like hell I will. I'm still here, ain't I? Listen, they wanted Heber. Then he just threw up his... Hell, I should have been an eat these herbs. No idea. Ah, good thing that at least the one... Yeah, right. Oh, so many... Ah. Hold on. Finley, it's not... Hey, first of all, I'm not a cripple who needs a decrepit dimwit running round after me. Secondly, do you know the problem with having a helper who's mute? He doesn't bloody talk. I mean, it's not all bad. At least I don't have to listen to even more bullshit. He puffs up like a marshmallow. Curious, aren't you? Fit? Ah. That's what he says anyway. But yeah, he's my blood. Eager like me, and look at that bulbous nose. It's like half the blighters here don't have working peckers, or they've never even touched a woman. What's with all the questions? Get me a drink and maybe I'll consider talking. Then you can kiss my arse.
You remember Sewell Firstfoot's tomb? Used to be a popular pilgrimage spot, but ever since the flooding, nobody's been out there.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. The whole place is forgotten, like it never even mattered. Pilgrims stopped coming after the water rose.
You've heard the rumors, right? Some say the Druids caused the flooding. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them.
I don't know. Druids? Why'd they bother flooding a whole village? What's in it for them?
Maybe they wanted to keep folks away from something. Or they weren't too fond of Sewell getting all that attention. Druids are a strange lot.
Strange, sure. But flooding a village to stop pilgrims sounds a bit far-fetched to me. Could have been something else entirely.
Doesn't matter much now. The tomb, the village, it's all gone. Nothing but water and memories left.
Aye, a place lost to the depths, and with it, a piece of our history.
Did you hear about the captain's lockdown?
Can't you take a hint? We're
You see that? Not one, but two noble...
Hello, child. You look competent enough. I can see that you're not of noble blood. Oh, no need to tell me that. I have tutored the children of aristocrats from all over Avalon. Fortunately for you, my opinion of them is not particularly high. Oh, and you don't look like one of the locals. Are you a visitor? Or an adventurer? Ah, ha, ha, you can talk. Now, I'm sure we'll get along. My name is Lady Elaine. I oversee the Farshire Library, the greatest collection of books in this part of Avalon. Oh, biding my time, until a brave adventurer with a death wish comes along and asks if there's anything they can help me with. Oh, surprising. I'm looking for someone who will help me find a certain artifact. So, are you interested, child? I came to the Horns of the South because I found a fascinating book. It referred to a certain object, a figure most likely, which has the ability to dispel the wordness like a menhir can. Apparently, it can be found on the ship called Andraste, which sank over 100 years ago somewhere in this area. However, when I asked those nincompoops about it, they just laughed at me. They said that the Andraste wasn't carrying anything of value, and even if it was, they wouldn't freeze their butts off in those chilly waters. The Last Voyage of the Andraste by Elvis the Lightkeeper. He was one of the more notable keepers. In his waning years, he became an adjutant to Captain Lex. But it's best if you read it yourself. You can read, can't you? But just be very careful. This is a very rare publication. Read it very carefully, and after you're done, come to me, and I'll tell you more. A deal? Oh, and they say young people don't want to learn anything. Come on, chop, 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 get to reading. And? Oh, splendid, splendid. According to Elvis the Lightkeeper, in the mine near the Horn... That's right. This is the artifact I'm looking for. One that might be vital to repelling the wordness. According to Elvis's description, the figure is smaller than a menhir, and light enough that they were able to carry it to the ship without any trouble. Were it small, it would probably have been placed in Captain Lex's quarters instead of in the hold. I've estimated it should be about 1 meter tall. Good. Next question. What was the Andraste's destination? be very careful with what I'm about to tell you. But some believe that the Red Priests are dedicated to studying the wordness instead of the Red Death. Captain Lex must have thought they'd pay him generously for a Four-Dweller artifact. Last question. What sank the Andraste? Yes, you did well, child. I can see that you were paying attention. But if you want to know more, now, all you need to do... Oh, if only I knew. It must have happened somewhere on the way between the Horns of the South and the Island Asylum. Oh, but where exactly? Fortunately, I know something that could help us. In the Horns of the South Museum, there are some extremely interesting books and documents lying around and collecting dust. Among them, you'll find the Andraste's logbook, which was saved by Alf. Go to the Horns of the South Museum, read the logbook.
Beer from Kunacht, wine from Farshire, moonshine, only local. No, No, listen. I don't know what's going. Half of them couldn't tell the quartermasters. But that means... no. Impossible. I've no idea how you found out about it. Aye, of course I have. I didn't just throw them in some cabinet. He was a good man. Here, after what you said, I assume you'll make good use of them. Even though I'm still not sure. Things are getting weirder and... Well, he died like he lived, with a tankard in his hand. The boy, he was a prankster like no other. Once. No problem. Listen.
Excuse me, could you get me a... I'm not sure. I don't mean to say that you peasants all look the same, but you have to understand it's quite difficult for people like me to tell anyone apart in this dreariness. Especially since there seems to be so many people like you here. I thought the South was supposed to be more secluded. My name is Alyssa Murray. and I'm here with my husband, a very important cloth merchant. But surely you must have heard about our family. Not to brag, but we are rather prominent. I am famed amongst Camelot's courtiers for throwing the most magnificent feasts. Thank you. I designed it myself. I wanted to blend in with the people of the South. The savage tribes, the brave Lightkeepers. I wanted to make an homage to them with my new style, and I do believe I've succeeded. I can feel everyone here gazing at me with awe. Give it a few weeks and everyone here will be trying to copy me. It happens in Camelot all the time. It's almost insufferable. Well, my Duncan is here on business, of course. A very important contract with the Lightkeepers. I decided to accompany him because I have never been to the South, and I've heard so much about its wild, untamed beauty. So far, it's turned out to be terribly dull. And the smell... It's like stale fish and sweat. Hopefully I don't have to suffer it much longer. Pray, tell me, do you know anyone here who would run a small errand for me? Oh, nothing major. You see, I've had my eye on this beautiful abandoned estate overlooking the sea. It's not very far from here, but it's far enough away from all this rabble. If we stay here for a while, I need a place for myself. You understand that, right? No offense. When I asked the innkeeper to... Finally, someone sympathetic to my plight. My Duncan has been heartless about it. He just keeps going on about how I was the one who wanted to come here. He told me to deal with it. Can you believe that? The nerve of the man. Well, what he doesn't know can't hurt him, can it? He should be glad that I can take care of myself. I'm not like the other high-born women, sitting around waiting to be handed everything on a silver platter. And besides, he knows better than to say no to me. Fine. The problem is that the manor appears to have some occupants, not legal ones, mind you, who need to be evicted. Forcibly, if there's no other way. You'll do it for me, won't you, dear? Splendid! I can't wait to start decorating. Maybe something nautical, to go with the sound of the waves crashing on the cliffs? Or do you think that's a trifle trite?
You seen all the refugee? Oi, you're not from around here, are you? Come on, sit down and tell me something about the world out there. That I believe. Everywhere's a mess. Even here. I remember when we were held in the same regard as Camelot. Look at us now. Not taken in wimps. It's nothing like the old days. You bet they were. It's all been falling apart ever since they put Captain Brendan in charge. That one's got two coins where his eyes should be, if you ask me. Doesn't care about anyone or anything. He's just looking out for his own skin. Worst captain I ever served under, no doubt. Not that I serve anymore. I'm retired now. Filth everywhere. And it reeks of fish. Everyone's terrified of the weirdness. It's hard to believe I've lived long enough to see times like these. Not that long ago, we used to scare kids with stories about the weirdness. But now, grown men wet themselves if we tell the same tales. Honestly, I'm done with it all. I don't even recognize this world anymore. And I don't want to. Don't even get me started. Fergus always claims he's busy, but for the life of me, I can't figure out what he actually does. Probably just pretends to work. I talk to Riderick from the museum sometimes, but that one's a real know-it-all. We always end up arguing about how things used to be. If you ask me, they're all just as bad as each other. It's never gonna be the same again. My brothers are gone, and I'm left here, all alone. We had a beautiful tradition. Choosing new keepers was done differently back then. You had to lie down and sleep in a special spot, but that's all I'm gonna say. It's a secret, and it looks like it'll die with me. Huh? Of course I do. In my day, it wasn't sunken. It was a beautiful, lively place. Pilgrims would visit the All-Mother's Temple and Excalibur, and end up in the village. It broke my heart when I heard about the flooding. They say the Druids caused it, but who really knows? It doesn't matter now, who did or didn't do what. It's over, that's all. Go on, leave me, like everyone else has. There's nobody left with any sense to talk to.
See you right. The sun doesn't rise same anymore.
What? What? How do you know the meaning of those flowers in that... Revenge. There's nothing nice about it, and I don't know if he did it all... Thank you. For them. Take those flowers away. Burn them. Be careful out there.
Oh, thank you for your support back there. Pix and Dower and Naza.
You're back! I told you, Ron is a good guy. Yes? I understand. Well, and I've been wondering why no one wants to talk to me. But why are you talking to me? Anyway, may the All-Mother bless your path. But since we're mates now, a few of us had a little gap. The winnings aren't much use to me anymore, so if you're interested, I'll tell you where here. Ooh, Ern, Armand, and Richt. Cunning. Oh, yes. Great place, great... Here, you can always have a meal. Sure, you can make more gold. Safe trap. Eyes forward and mind your... The less attention, the better. What? Your feet, I swear. Stay quiet, stay safe.
So...
Oh!
Do you mean the document with information about more specific... Here it is, though I doubt that... Oh, no. We know that. Every keeper knows that the Andraste was swallowed by...
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm Jan Heber, a physician. Why would you, though? Don't you have better Aha, got it. So you're up for work no Oh, now you're it does pay. But we haven't settled on a shared debt. But all right, if you're a mercenary. Back at the academy, I found forbidden knowledge. Especially now, after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and... But I guess you already know what That is an excellent question. That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the charred. At some point, the villages all around the island decided that they rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Full. But, well, that's... Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry. Yes, his grandma's mirror. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he try... No, I thought I made myself clear. No need to add other... Well, to be fair, but what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly... Or sage with wolfsbane, because, you know... What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Is some local witchcraft I've been... Experience is the best teacher. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say, a wise approach... Oh, that was unexpected. What irony. The pursuit of knowledge is all it takes. I don't dream about anything anymore. Fortunately, back in Camelot, I found a mix of remedies that... Oh no, every physician needs his... There are... You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But our brave soldiers, well, they already trust my... Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices or to refuse. What do you think? Do I look like a miss? I don't think so. If you're looking for answers about things like this... Oh, sorry. I'm just... What? You... understood. But... For... I... Is... It's something, but... Yes, I do... No need to... Yes, it's... Well, but all... What?
Thank you. Here, take this.
I knew we'd have to deal with this soon. It's hard for me to admit, but nobody, if you find any clues... Yes? Why not?